जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रजन रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजन रञ्जन जमुनतीरावनचारी। जमुनतीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव श्री राधे। जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव। जय जय गुरुदेव। जय जय श्रीपाद श्रीपाद श्रीपाद। जय जय श्रीपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय माधव की जय हो। हरे कृष्ण।
वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति स्वरूप दामोदर स्वामी नमो सद्भक्त मनियो मणिपुर ध्वज गोपाल वसुद्वाणी चारु सहित। तो रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम 10th canto chapter 1 text 60 to 63। नन्दाद्यये व्रज गोपा याश्चामि सां चचो योषिता वृष्णायो वासुदेवाद्य देवकी आद्य यदु स्त्रिया। You want to repeat, Prabhu?
नन्दाय ये व्रजे गोपा याश्चंसिषां च योषितः कृष्णयो वासुदेवत्या देवकी आद्ययदुस्त्रिया।
सर्वे वै देवता प्राय उभयोरपि भारत ज्ञातयो बन्धु सुहृदो ये च कंसम् अनुव्रता।
सर्वे वै देवता प्राया उभयोऽपि भारत ख्यातयो बन्धुसुहृदो ये च कंशम् अनुवृताः।
Translation. The inhabitants of Raja Vrindavana, headed by Nanda Maharaj and including his associate cowherd men and their wives, were none but denizens of the heavenly planets. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the descendants of Bharata, and so too were the descendants of the Vrishni dynasty, headed by Vasudeva and Devaki and the other women of the dynasty of Yadu. Long statement. I'll read it again. The inhabitants of Vrindavana, वृंदावन में रहने वाले लोग, headed by Nanda Maharaj राजा बन के, and including his associate cowherd men and their wives, गोप और गोपी के सहित, were none but denizens of the heavenly planets. वो लोग कोई नहीं है, वो लोग देवलोक से में रहने वाले देवता लोग हैं. ओ महाराज परीक्षित, बेस्ट ऑफ द डिसेंडेंट्स ऑफ भरता, ओ महाराज परीक्षित जो भरत श्रेष्ठ है, एंड सो टू वर द डिसेंडेंट्स ऑफ द वृष्णि डायनेस्टी. ऐसे ही है वृष्णि डायनेस्टी में भी रहने वाले जो लोग हैं, हेडेड बाय वासुदेवा एंड देवकी, जो वासुदेव और देवकी के साथ रहने वाले यदु वंश के सारे स्त्री भी मिलके ऐसे ही है, मतलब सब लोग देवता ही है. The friends, relatives, and well-wishers of both Nand Maharaj and Vasudeva, and even those who externally appeared to be the followers of Kamsa, were all demigods. जो मित्र है, जो बंधु है और जो वेल-विशर है नंद महाराज वसुदेवा का, जो कंस का फॉलोअर दिख रहे हैं, वो सब लोग देवता है. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, as previously discussed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu informed Lord Brahma that Lord Krishna would personally descend to mitigate the suffering on the earth. सब पहले बताया गया है, विष्णु भगवान बताए हैं कि ब्रह्मा जी को कि भगवान कृष्ण स्वयं आएंगे जब भूमि में रहने वाला है आत्माओं का उद्धार करना है. The Lord ordered all the denizens of the heavenly planets to take birth in different families of the Yadu and Vrishni dynasties and in Vrindavan. So भगवान ने देवताओं को आदेश दिए हैं कि वो यदु और वृष्णि वंश में वृंदावन में जन्म लेने के लिए आदेश दिए हैं जब वो आने वाले हैं. Now this verse confirms that all the family and friends of the Yadu dynasty, Vrishni dynasty, Nanda Maharaj, Gopas descended from the heavenly planets to see the pastime of the Lord. इस श्लोक के अनुसार इनका फैमिली मेंबर, फ्रेंड, यदु डायनेस्टी, वृष्णि डायनेस्टी, नंद महाराज और गोप सब देवलोक से पधारे हैं भगवान का लीलाओं में भाग लेने के लिए और देखने के लिए. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord's pastime consists of परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम्. इस भगवद गीता में भगवान परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम्, साधुओं को रक्षा करना और दैत्यों को विनाश करना, यही सोचते हैं. To demonstrate these activities, the Lord called for devotees from different parts of the universe. यही बात बताने के लिए भगवान भक्त लोगों को अनेक जगह से बुलाए हैं. There are many devotees who are elevated to the higher planetary systems. बहुत भक्त पुण्य लोकों में जाते हैं. प्राप्य पुण्या कृतम लोकान उषित्वा शासिता समा सुचीनम श्रीमताम गेहे योग भ्रष्टो अभिजायते. So this is a famous verse of Bhagavad Gita. जो the unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So इस श्लोक के अनुसार जो सक्सेसफुल योगी नहीं है, बहुत सालों के बाद वो लोग, मतलब ये जो पुण्य जीव है, वो पूर्ण जीव मतलब अनेक युगों तक, अनेक साल तक जो प्लैनेट्स में निवास करते हैं, वो लोग बाद में राइचियस फैमिली में, अरिस्टोक्रेटिक फैमिली में जन्म लेते हैं. Some devotees, having failed to complete the process of devotional service, are promoted to the heavenly planets, to which the pious are related. After enjoying there, they may be directly promoted to the place where the Lord's pastimes are going on. This is very important point. कुछ भक्त लोग जो भक्ति करने में संपूर्णता नहीं ला पाए हैं, वो लोग देवलोक जाते हैं और उसी लोक में भी जो पुण्य कर्म करते हैं वो लोग भी ऊपर जा सकते हैं. और वहां जाने के बाद वो लोग डायरेक्टली भगवान का लीला जहां होता है वहां पर जाने का उनको अवकाश मिल सकता है. When Lord Krishna was to appear, the denizens of the heavenly planets were invited to see the pastimes of the Lord. जब भगवान कृष्ण अवतार लेने वाले हैं, तो देवगण को इनवाइट किया गया है कि वो भगवान का पास टाइम में भाग ले. And thus it is stated here that the members of the Yadu and Vrishni dynasties and the inhabitants of Vrindavana were demigods or almost as good as demigods. तो यहाँ पर यह बताया गया कि वृष्णि और वृषि वंश के जो भी रहने वाले हैं और जो वृंदावन के निवास करने वाले हैं, वो देवता है, नहीं तो ऑलमोस्ट देवता की तरह है. Even those who externally helped the activities of Kamsa belonged to the higher planetary systems. जो कंस का सहायता करने वाले भी है, वो भी मतलब पुण्य लोगों से आए हुए लोग ही है. The imprisonment and release and Vasudeva and the killing of various demons are all manifestations of the pastimes of the Lord. वासुदेव जी को, वासुदेव जी कृष्ण के पिताजी वसुदेव जी को इम्प्रिजन करना, और थोड़ा नीचे कीजिए, थोड़ा सा नीचे, इम्प्रिजनमेंट, और ये कंस को, ये दैत्यों को मारना, ये सब भगवान का अनेक लीलाएं हैं. बिकॉज द डिवोटीज वुड बी प्लीज्ड टू सी दीज एक्टिविटीज पर्सनली, क्योंकि भक्तों को ये सब खुद से देखने का इच्छा रहता है. दे वर ऑल इनवाइटेड टू टेक बर्थ एज फ्रेंड्स. तो सब लोगों को फ्रेंड्स की तरह, फ्रेंड्स की तरह और रिलेटिव की तरह जन्म लेते हैं. एज इन्फॉर्म्ड इन द प्रेयर्स ऑफ क्वीन कुंती, न तो नाट्य धरो यथा, Bhagavatam 1:8-19. The Lord was to play the part of a demon killer and a friend, son, and a brother to his devotees. And thus these devotees were all summoned. तो भगवान दैत्यों को मारना और भगवान मित्र की रखना और भगवान पुत्र की तरह रहना, भगवान भाई की तरह रहना, ये सब भक्त चाहते हैं. इसलिए भक्तों को भगवान एक जगह एकत्रित किए हैं. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे. तो फिर पिछली बार भी ऐसे ही श्लोक एक मैंने बताया था. I have conveyed a similar sloka previous time also. We have to understand two things here. Those who are pure devotees and those who are getting an opportunity to meet pure devotees. There are two things we have to remember. जो शुद्ध भक्त है, वो लोग तो ऑलवेज डिवोशनल सर्विस, दे आर ऑलरेडी एब्सॉर्ब्ड इन डिवोशनल सर्विस. मच्चिता मद्गता प्राणा बोधयन्ता परस्परम कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च. मच्चिता मद्गता प्राणा, वो लोग भगवान को ही अपना चित्त में धारण करते हैं. मद्गता प्राणा, भगवान का गति ही प्राण में रखते हैं. बोधयन्तस् परस्परम, एक दूसरे को बोधन करते हैं. चितामत्कत प्राणा बोधयन्तश्च परस्परम कथयन्तश्च माम नित्यम, वो लोग हर समय कृष्ण का कथा करते हैं. तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च, कथा करते हुए रमन्ति, रमण करते हैं, मतलब आनंद लेते हैं. So this is the status of pure devotee. Pure devotee is never under the modes of the material nature. वो लोग भगवान का सेवा करके 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 ऐसा स्थिति में चले जाते हैं that they are no longer under the influence of the modes of material nature. Especially passion and good ignorance. If ignorance also comes to them, then tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tena upayanti. भगवान तेषाम येवानुकंपार्थम अहम आत्मा जम तमा नाशयामि आत्मा भावस्तो ज्ञान दीपेन भास्वता. भगवान स्वयं ज्ञान का दीप उनके हृदय में जगाते हैं और उनका अज्ञान को नष्ट करते हैं. So here we have to remember one point, that the leela between the pure devotee and the Supreme Lord is very, very sweet. It is very, very tasty. It is very, very that suddenly the Lord puts one glimpse of ignorance, and then immediately the Lord delivers that living entity from that ignorance. Nashayami Atma Bhavasto Gnanadipena Bhaswata. That Gnana, that relation to Krishna, that connection to Krishna, that Sambandha, that Gnana, it is given by the Lord Himself in the heart of those. Tesham Yevanu Kampardham. So, Tesham Yevanu Kampardham. Aham Agnana Jamtama. Agnana Jamtama. Agnan, forgetfulness of Krishna, is the prime function of Maya. माया का मेन काम यही है कि कृष्ण को भुलाना. कृष्णा भूली छे जीवा अनादि बहिर्मुखा अतएव माया तारे देह संसार दुखा. So this is the status of pure devotees, that even though the mode of ignorance tries to make one forgetfulness of Krishna, they never forget Krishna. Why they don't forget Krishna? Because they have taken shelter of the divine nature. Mahatmanamstu mamparda daivi prakriti masrita. They have taken shelter of this divine spiritual nature of devotional service. They have taken shelter of Srimati Radha. So therefore, they are always above the influence of three modes of meditation. Mamyacho avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So always we have to remember these verses. These we should put in our neck and we should get around, so that never ignorance comes to see that a pure devotee who is in the yoga Prabhupada has given to us here. So yoga parashta system में लोग ये सोचते हैं कि मैं भक्ति पूर्ण तरह कर नहीं सकता हूँ, थोड़ा पुण्य लोकों में रहूंगा, थोड़ा संसार का चीज आस्वादन करूंगा. Coming to the discussion, that the pure devotees are always under the divine shelter of Srimad Radharani, and therefore whenever they try to take care of the situation, they completely depend on Guru and Krishna. But there are other people who are not pure devotees. So like say for example, 100%, those who score 100 out of 100, they are given A grade. Those who score 90 out of 100, they are given B grade or AB grade. So they are like this. Okay, now the thing is, that pure devotees, they're always giving their association to others, but others are also there who are trying to become pure devotee. So this war against Maya is highly complex. So these demigods, they are ordered by Lord Brahma, so that why don't you take part in the pastimes of the Lord? Because they're anyway demigods, they always want to come and take part in the pastime. They have little material desire. For that reason, they are given a material body. Otherwise, they are oriented. Like you will see that people are there who want to give donation in temple, but people want little appreciation. That I have donated this temple. You put a plate that I have given 1 crore to the Lord. Like this. So, considering all these aspects, the Lord awards them what they want. What they want? They want to do devotional service, but at that same time, they don't want to get rid of the material desires. They're Mishra, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Raga Mishra Bhakti, Gnana Mishra Bhakti. Like this, there are many, many cases that we have here. So, what we have to keep in mind is that the demigods who come to witness the pastimes of the Lord, are they shown all the pastimes? Need not be. And even if they are shown also, they may not accept the absolute sovereignty of the Lord. They may not surrender fully also. That may be also there, but chances are more that they may get surrendered. जो भगवान का नित्य सेवा में रहते हैं वो तो शुद्ध भक्त है, लेकिन जो जो देवताएं हैं जिनका थोड़ा भौतिक इच्छाएं है, मतलब हम सब लोग भी वो कैटेगरी में जाते हैं, हम लोगों का भी भौतिक इच्छा है, हम में से बहुत कम लोग हैं जो शुद्ध भक्त है, तो हर एक को अपने अपने के बारे में थोड़ा थोड़ा सोच विचार है, पूरा गुरु कृष्ण के बारे में हम लोग सोच नहीं रहे हैं। तो ऐसा स्थिति में जो लोग भजन करना चाहते हैं और अपना पेट के बारे में सोचते हैं, पेट और मानस देह गया, दिस इज द थिंग ना, माइंड बॉडी, these two things we are always thinking. Mind says this is mine, mamta ahamta, this is I am, I and mine, mamta ahamta. So mamta ahamta is there in mind, body and all these things. Okay, and because of this reason, we are actually into all this situation. So for those situation, हमको ये सब दिया जाता है, that we are जाओ जाके भगवान के लीलाओं में भाग लो. Even after participating in Lord's Leela, like the husbands of the wives of the Patnis, Dvija Patni were able to serve prasad to the Lord, but Dvijas they refused because they are absorbed into their own Gnana Marga, not Bhakti Marga. Ultimately, this Gnana Marga or Bhakti Marga, Gnana Kanda, Karma Kanda, Vishara Banda. The Karma Kanda process and the Gnana Kanda process is going to make our life full of misery and poison. It does not have anything else. So these people who come to stay in the association of the demigods, who come to stay in association of devotees like Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev Ji, and all these affectionate people, we have to understand that why they are taking part in the pastimes associated to Kamsa, because they got some desire. Similarly, in Vrindavan also, you will have people who will have little tendency towards the worldly things. Not in Golok Vrindavan, this is Bhavani Vrindavan. The Bhavani Vrindavan is the intersection point of the spiritual and quasi-spiritual state. Quasi-spiritual state means because the Bhavani Vrindavan is in the material world, the Bhavani Vrindavan will have certain souls who will go there with a little material desire. They want to serve the Supreme Lord, but still they are not pure devotees. By associating with pure devotees, they may become pure devotees. That is a different story. But that depends also on the level of their attachment. For example, in Madan Mohan temple, that merchant is basically merchant, right? That merchant who gave lot of Lakshmi for the Madan Mohan temple, after he realized that he got all the Lakshmi that was stuck in the sea, his goods, then he constructed the beautiful temple Then what he did, he put his own head. That means he made a form of his head and he put it at a place where the water from the Lord's lotus feet would come and fall on it. That means he tried to arrange a system in such a way that whenever Lord Madan Mohan's Abhishek is done, that water would fall on his statue. अपने सिर का बिगड़ा टाइप कुछ बनाया है उनके ऊपर गिरेगा. So these are some of the examples we can find even in Goswami Lila. We can find that they are very elevated souls but not pure devotees. If they are pure devotees, their job is only to kada ganam nityam natyam gavanam api vamsi priya sakim. Always Krishna Kada, always Krishna dance, always Krishna song, always Krishna play. That is pure devotee status. Kada Ganam Natyam, always Krishna dance, always Krishna song, always Krishna's walk. Wherever Krishna or pure devotee goes, they go behind them. They follow them. So, that is their job. That is the job of the pure devotees. But there will be some people who will be interested to support them. They are devotees, but they still have certain desires. They become like landlords. They build big temples, but they want some credit. Some people don't want credit. Some want to take credit subtly, thinking, okay, I will build this temple. After I die, Krishna will give me a good birth. See, this material desire. Vadra sakale evati manda. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, in this material world, if we are thinking we are Bhadra, safe, or Avadra, not safe, it's all useless. Manda, no use. So, this point that we have to remember is very important, that the demigods are different people coming to see the pastimes of the Lord. They are not the same as these people. And again, why all these things are happening? Why the living entity is kept into the three modes of material nature? Ultimately, if we think, it is Krishna. If Krishna did not have something called material energy, if Krishna did not desire to have Vibhinansh, then all these problems won't be there, right? अगर कृष्ण भगवान अगर सोचे नहीं है कि भाव शक्ति ना हो, और कृष्ण भगवान अगर सोचे नहीं है कि एक विभिन्नांश आए, एक वैरायटी आए उनका सृष्टि में, तो ये सब चीज नहीं होगा. Living entity forgetting Krishna and then many things happening. So ultimately, if we see, this is all the Leela of the Lord to kill the demons. Why the demons are coming in? Because of ignorance. Why the ignorance is coming in? Because of the free will of the living entity. Why the living entity is having free will? Because it is marginal energy. Why the living entity is marginal energy? Because it is the desire of the Lord to have a marginal energy. Ultimately, Sarva Karana Karanam, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. So it's Sarva Karana Karanam. So we have to understand these parameters and we have to go ahead in this way. We should not think that the demigods, Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev, they're also demigods. No, they are not demigods. They're partial. They're part and parcel of Krishna. So part and parcel of Krishna that they're all, in the spiritual energy. We are all the spiritual energy of Srimad Radharani. So this point we have to remember. Now coming to how to maintain at least the qualities of a demigod. Presently we are all in material energy. If we are unable to do devotional service, what we should do in the Pravritti Marg so that our Nivritti Marg becomes easier. Pravritti Marg means regulated principles. No eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit relation. Pravritti Marg is this. Nivritti Marg means bhajan, to realize my true nature. So, this pravritti is my adopted nature, nivritti is my real nature. Two things are there. So, we have to balance. Just like when I'm hungry, I take little prasad, and with that prasad, I work for 4 hours. And I want to sleep, I sleep for 2 hours. Again, I get refreshed. Again, I do seva. Like that. You have to balance. So, balancing is very important. And to balance, one has to actually get deeper into the bhajan. When one goes very deep into bhajan, automatically the pravritti marg is not required. That means when one is chanting, automatically one is above the modes of materialization. But the problem comes that when Maya attacks, then one will stop chanting. Then one will be the mode of goodness first. And coming to goodness from pure goodness is ignorance. Viparyayo smriti. And a living entity forgets Krishna, it gets a material body. And this material body is as per its interaction with the material nature. It is a standard, verse. So, this point, when we deliberate more and more, we will come to the conclusion that it is okay maybe to have the body of a demigod. But Prabhupada says, no, not even body of a demigod is okay. Sorry, no business with material world. Material world means even for a moment we try to forget Krishna, we get the material body, even for a moment. So we should not forget Krishna even for a moment. And how we can come to that platform is by two methods. One is pravritti marg, that is, we should ever be detached. So any worldly things we do will be attached. Any spiritual things we do will be detached. Two things. What are spiritual things? Yajna, dana, tapa, chanting, reading, association of devotees. These are all spiritual. What are anti-spiritual? We all know what are anti-spiritual. Whatever initially remains as poison, but later becomes like nectar, is in the mode of goodness. So we should test it ourselves. We want to watch movie? Yes, we can watch. So when we go to the movie, we like it. That means it's nectar initially. But after finishing the movie, we say, oh, it's so boring. Poison. In the middle of the movie only, we say, oh, no, I don't like this movie. Let me get off. When we go to the cricket match, we think, oh, India is great. This player is great. That player is great. But after watching highlights also, we think that, oh, they are playing too bored. Game is one-sided. Maja nahi aa raha hai. Anything in the material world is like that only. Anything in the material world is like that only. It will initially appear to be nectar and later it will appear to be poison. So therefore, we should not associate with those which are like nectar initially. Pravritti marg, we have to control ourselves. We have to control our urges. If we are unable to do devotional service, we have to control by logic, by reasoning, by argument. We should consider all these matters. The second point is, of course, the Nivritti mark. That is devotional service, active devotional service. So through a combination of these two, we will be able to blend science and spirituality. Science means sensual. Science is based on senses. The same senses, when they realize that it is initially poison and later it is nectar, the senses will get habituated to that. And the same senses, when they realize, when they don't have the realization that whatever nectar presently I am having, it is poison later. This is what will happen. When we read newspapers, when we read all these worldly things, we find all glittery things. But behind the glitter, there is so much untruth, so much lies, so much deceitry. So when we read this content, because that content internally has so much deceit, that will enter our consciousness. So we have to remember all these points. To become a demigod, a pravritti marga has to be strictly followed. If we want to stay in material world, at least be a demigod. So now it is up to us to decide. Acharyas never want us to stay in material world. Acharyas want us to go home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So that's all for today. Thank you for all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. रंद्रा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
हरे हरे बोल। थैंक यू प्रभु फॉर द क्लास। अगर किसी का कोई प्रश्न है, कुछ एडिशन है, तो प्रभु से पूछ सकते हैं। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
यस प्रभु जी।
भगवान का लीला देखने के लिए डेमी गॉड्स हैं, भक्त होते हैं। नॉर्मल इंसान, जो नॉर्मल पर्सन है, हु इज नॉट अ डिवोटी, हु इज नॉट अ डेमी गॉड, डू ही गेट अपॉर्चुनिटी टू सी द लॉर्ड्स पास टाइम?
There is a sloka on that, na? Avyaktam vyakti maapanno manyate abuddhaya. That's one sloka. And there's another sloka in Bhagavad Gita where the Lord says that I am always under the spiritual energy. So, no. Best example is Duryodhana. Duryodhana is unable to see the Krishna as the Supreme Lord. He is unable to see that even though Duryodhana desires so many things, he is unable to get them all resolved. Somehow Krishna is always protecting them. So he's unable to see Krishna as the Supreme Lord. He's seeing only Krishna as a contemporary. So no, it is not possible.
Yeah, but Duryodhan was a demigod, or he's a associate, right? He's a personal associate of Lord.
No. He's Kalnemi.
Okay.
He is representative of Kalnemi.
So how he get the opportunity to be in the pastime of the Lord?
So that is the Leela of the Lord, that he has been included but not included.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the Lord showed the Vishwarupa in the Kuru Sabha, he could not see. He wanted to imprison the Lord. So imprisoning the Lord, he was used as an instrument. भगवान को कैद करने के लिए उसको एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट की तरह यूज किया गया. बट could he imprison the Lord? So through Duryodhan, the Lord is showing that how great he is. And even after this happened, when he has shown the universal form, even after that, he is still ready to go for war. You see?
Yes, true.
Ah.
So, like, who will be in the pastime of
Naham
the Lord?
prakasha sarvasya. That is the slogan. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya. That is the verse. Please read that verse.
Yes, true.
I am never manifest to those who are moodas, who don't surrender to me. These two are very important verses in 7th chapter. Naham prakasha sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavruta. Moodoham Abhijanati says. Mood of foolish, they don't know me. Mam Avyayam Anuttamam. I am inexhaustible and all perfect. In this another verse that is very important is this. Avyaktam Jakti Mahaparnam Manyate Abuddhaya. Parambhava Majananto Mama Bhotadi Avyayam. There also it is said, those who are less intelligent, they think that I have taken a form now. Previously, I did not have a form. This is Mayavad and that is Damanvad. Damanvad and Mayavad are condemned. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
Like who will
Krishna,
be
Prabhu.
Hmm.
हरे कृष्ण
Yes,
प्रभु
Prabhu.
जी।
पीछे Radharam Prabhu.
हाँ प्रभु जी, मेरा एक क्लारिफिकेशन, आई नीड वन क्लारिफिकेशन दैट हम कभी गॉड हेड, बैक टू गॉड हेड थे, मतलब कि जैसे हम बोला जाता है कि विल गो बैक टू होम, तो हम भगवान के धाम में कभी थे पहले, या फिर हमेशा बाहर बाहर ही हैं?
आपको एक चीज याद रखना है, भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर जी बोले हैं कि बलदेव जी से जो जीव आए हैं वो सीधा गोलोक वृंदावन में गए हैं, ठीक है। लेकिन जो महाविष्णु से जो लोग आए हैं वो लोग इधर मतलब संसार में आए हैं। फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज दैट। सेकंड पॉइंट, वी आर विद द लॉर्ड। सी, बैक टू गॉडेड मीन्स लेवल ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस, इट्स नॉट फिजिकल। वो भौतिक स्थिति नहीं है, चेतना का स्थिति है। जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्णेर नित्यदास, दैट मीन्स महाविष्णु से आने से हो, बलराम जी से आने से हो, जीव का स्वरूप है कृष्ण का दास्यता करना, मतलब वो चेतना उसका हृदय में है, ठीक है। तो बैक टू गॉड हेड का मतलब ये हुआ है। समझ में आ गया प्रभु?
जी प्रभु जी। तो कंफ्यूज था कि जैसे कि एक बार बोला जाता है कि हम लिमिट हो जाते हैं, तो जो डेथ एंड बर्थ का जो साइकिल है वो बढ़ जाता है, तो
कट रहा है,
एक बार
कट रहा
उधर
है।
हो जाने के बाद फिर हम अभी आवाज आ रही है प्रभु?
हाँ हाँ, बोलिए।
बोल रहे थे कि एक बार हम जब लिबरेट हो जाते हैं डेथ बर्थ साइकिल से, तो फिर दोबारा हमारा बर्थ नहीं होता, तो वही पूछ रहे थे कि फिर अगर बैक टू गॉड थे तो हम बर्थ क्यों होता है हमारा?
बर्थ क्यों होता है? क्योंकि जीव मतलब मार्जिनल तटस्थ शक्ति है ना। जीव तटस्थ शक्ति है, तो आप तो वहां गए ही नहीं, वहां जाने वाले हैं बस। वहां जाएंगे तो वापस आएंगे नहीं। हम्म।
ओके प्रभु जी।
फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप अभी कहाँ हैं? आपके
बिहार
घर
में।
में है,
जी।
बिहार में। कहा आप अभी वृंदावन में है नहीं है?
मेंटली इफ आई विल थिंक देन आई विल बी इन वृंदावन।
एग्जैक्टली। सो नाउ यू टेल मी, आर यू इन वृंदावन और आर यू एट योर होम?
आई एम काइंड ऑफ इन डुअलिटी।
सेम थिंग यहाँ पर, यही पर ऐसा स्थिति है, तो वहां कैसे होगा प्रभु आत्मा का स्थिति में? वो सोचिए आप, ठीक है।
हाँ जी प्रभु जी।
वहां वहां शास्त्र में जो बताया गया, यद्गत्वा निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परम मम, मतलब आप एक बार गुण से बाहर हो गए हैं, मतलब हम कभी गुण से बाहर हुए नहीं है। महाविष्णु से जब बाहर आए हैं हम गुण से बाहर नहीं हुए। महाविष्णु से आके सीधा हम लोग यहाँ आ गया है। लेकिन भगवान यहाँ पे एक एक शब्द जो दिए हैं गीता में, वो एकदम मतलब ब्रह्मास्त्र की तरह है। ये यद्गत्वा निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परम, मेरा धाम में एक बार आओगे तो तुमको वापस जाने का चांस नहीं मिलेगा। मतलब अगर रजोगुण तमोगुण में आप आओगे तो भी आपको मतलब रजो तमोगुण में आने के बाद भी आपको चांस वापस आने के लिए आपको अज्ञान। कभी कभी भगवान भगवान अर्जुन को ही मतलब खेलते हैं। अर्जुन का लीला में आप देखेंगे, अर्जुन एक बार प्रण लेते हैं कि मैं ब्राह्मण का बच्चों को मैं सेव करूंगा, लेकिन कर नहीं पाता है। और कृष्ण अप्रकट होने के बाद द्वारका का रानियों को सेव करने के लिए युद्ध में जाता है और गांडीव से युद्ध नहीं कर पाता है। ये सब क्या है? ये सब मन को विचलित करने वाला चीज है कि कृष्ण तो साथ नहीं है। अर्जुन को कृष्ण कैसे छोड़ सकते हैं? वो तो सखा है। तो ये सब कभी सोचे हैं आप?
ना प्रभु।
हाँ। तो सखा सखा को कैसे छोड़ सकते हैं बताइए? सखा को तो कभी छोड़ ही नहीं सकते ना।
जी बिल्कुल।
हाँ। तो हम हमारे बारे में सोच रहे हैं, अर्जुन के बारे में सोचिए ना। अर्जुन का जिंदगी में ही कृष्ण तो छोड़ के चला गया, और कृष्ण रानियों को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए युद्ध में गया है अर्जुन, और हार गया, नहीं कर पाया। वो लोग प्राण त्याग दिए, भागवत में ही दिया हुआ है ये सब चीज। तो तब क्या अर्जुन को कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को छोड़ दिया क्या? और गीता में भगवान बोलते हैं यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णा, इसके बारे में बोलते हैं जहां कृष्ण और अर्जुन है वहां संपत्ति है, वहां सुख है, वहां विजय है, सब कुछ बताया गया है। तो इसका बात क्या है? तो इसीलिए ये बात सब चीज ना, हमारा दिमाग में एक चीज याद रखना है कि हम लोग वहां गए ही नहीं है। हम लोग वहां है, वहां से आए हैं का मतलब ये हुआ कि जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्णेर नित्य दास। हम कृष्ण का नित्य दास है। हम महाविष्णु से आए या नहीं तो हम बलराम जी से आए, हम कहीं से भी आए, हम तो नित्य कृष्ण का दास है। और नित्य दिश कृष्ण का दास होने के कारण हम लोग वही के बिलोंग करते हैं। हमारा चेतना वही का है, लेकिन हम लोग इधर आया है बस। यही समझ के चलिए।
ओके प्रभु, थैंक यू सो मच।
और दूसरा चीज क्या है? रसगुल्ला खाने के बाद यही चीज भी सोचते रहिए। रसगुल्ला खाने के बाद कोई बिना स्वादिष्ट रहने वाला खाना पसंद करेगा? नहीं करेगा। कृष्ण चेतना भी ऐसे ही है। एक बार कृष्ण चेतना किसी को लग गया ना, तो वो कृष्ण चेतना छोड़ेगा ही नहीं। अगर छोड़ रहा है मतलब कृष्ण चेतना उसको लगा नहीं है, सीधा बात। ठीक है।
जी
मतलब
प्रभु, थैंक यू।
गुरुजन बोलते हैं कि इस्कॉन में फॉल डाउन हो गया। फॉल डाउन किसका होता है? जो शुद्ध भक्त नहीं उसी का फॉल डाउन होता है। जो शुद्ध भक्त है उसका फॉल डाउन ही होता नहीं। फिनिश। वो तो दैवी शक्ति में चला गया।
जी प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू प्रभु।
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
यस
It's
माता
time
जी।
for me. It's like, may I ask one question, Prabhuji?
प्लीज माता जी।
Prabhuji, as in the case of Kamsa, we had seen that his fear arose from the divine prophecy that the eighth child of Vasudevji would be his destroyer, right? So, driven by this fear, he engaged in sinful deeds. So, similarly, in day to day life, fear often compels individuals to act in ways that may not align with righteousness, right? So, how then one can cultivate the state of sthita pragyana? Like, how practically one can overcome such fear and maintain equanimity in challenging circumstances, Prabhuji?
माता जी, fear comes because of attachment. Attachment is the main reason for fear. So, we are attached to something which we are not supposed to get attached. Entire Bhagavad Gita is about detachment. That's all. And detachment means attachment to something divine and detachment from something which is non-divine. In the Karma Yoga, you do a balance. In the Gnana Yoga, you further do a balance. In the Bhakti Yoga, there is no balance. So, all these fears that we are having in the material world, because we are conditioned, we think we are fearful. I can give you some examples. Suppose there is a boy who does not have a mother, father, anyone. He is born on the road. Let's say झोपड़पट्टी में जन्म लिया है. Okay, झोपड़पट्टी means you know, like slum area. Now, what best is possible in his life? There is nothing that is possible. So, such a birth, if someone gets, what worst can be there? What more worst thing that can happen to that boy or girl who takes birth in such a poor state? So, such persons, they will be able to take up things very, what to say, aggressively, in the sense that any difficult thing that comes in their life, they don't think that is not that difficult. I'm already seen, the other side of the story. Another example I'll give you. Yesterday, I was reading in the newspaper, there is one person who had 100 surgeries of cancer. Cancer ka 100 surgery operation hua hai. And after 100 surgeries, he is still alive. The first surgery only, doctor told him, we don't know whether the surgery will be successful or failure. If we fail, then you may die in there and then itself. But he's still alive, even after 100 surgeries. So, Sthita Pragnata, as I told you, it comes in two ways from this Nivritti and Nivritti marks. Nivritti mark is devotional service. You are automatically Sthita Prajna in devotional service because you are already connected to the Supreme Lord. But if you are not thinking of the Supreme Lord because of whatever modes you have, and what the Lord says, Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anutarsanam adhyatma jnana nityatvam. The Lord says, 13th chapter, think about birth, death, old age, disease, think about adhyatma jnana, cultivation, all these things. So through these things, you can become Sthita Prajna. Okay, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji, but how is it practically possible, Prabhuji? Because people are not aware of these things, right? So, to overcome
Right.
fear,
Overcome fear means you have to, like say, for example, what Acharya says, you want to eat food, come, we'll feed you, come, eat puri, halwa, kachori, sabji. But after 10 years, this boy will say, oh, I don't want to eat puri in mandir. It is very spicy, oily. The same person went to temple to eat that spicy food only 10 years back. So make them habituated to all spiritual things. They'll automatically come out of negative things, material things. That's all. So practical means let them get habituated. Let them have that experience. That's all. Either through chanting or through feeding prasad or through discussing BI books, whatever they like, hena, kena, prakanena, whatever they like in spiritual side, you make them engaged. One boy is there in Guwahati. He likes doing deity service. He does not like to chant. He went to ISKCON temple. Whole night he does deity seva. Today he became devotee, is chanting 25 rounds. He liked a deity service. His parents also never said against it. But suppose parents said, ye nahi karna hai, only chanting karna hai, then that boy would not have chanted now 25 rounds. He got Brahmin initiation also now. Okay?
okay, Prabhuji, it means only Bhakti Yoga only is the like process, right? To overcome
Exactly.
fear and
No,
insecurity.
Bhakti Yoga means Mataji. You have to understand there are two things.
Hmm.
Nivritti mark, Pravritti mark. You can't give Nivritti mark to everyone. And Pravritti mark also, you cannot have everything given to everyone. You have to discuss first with that person, make that person habituated, and then, give whatever they want, whatever they like. To that extent, you give. Both are required. Not everyone may like devotional service. They may do aparadh, and they'll again go back to their worldly ways. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So we can wind up for today.
Yes, Prabhuji. So the conclusion of today's discussion is that we have to be at least be a demigod so that we can one day witness the pastimes of the Lord in Vrindavan or in any other pastime. And to be a demigod, we must have detachment through Pravritti Nivritti marks. And the third point is ultimately for everything, Sarvakarana Karanam is Krishna himself. That's all. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. तो ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल,
हरि
हरि
हरि हरि बोल। इसके शाम विजय प्रभु की जय हो।
वैष्णव देव नमो नमः, दंडवत, हरे कृष्ण।
थैंक यू ऑल द डिवोटीज, सीनियर वैष्णवस, माता जी, हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम।